Hey everyone, so right now one of the quests of Wano is that the Alliance is trying to bring a few key powerful samurai to their side, one of whom is Ashura Douji. Now the problem of course is that Ashura Douji doesn't want to join. This guy is first of all resentful of the Kozuki clan for their disappearance. Second, he's not a hero. He's not so good-hearted that he's just going to join the cause to fight Kaido because it's the right thing to do. He's a thief and a criminal first. That's what he was back before Oden came around, and now that Oden is dead, he's gone back to his old ways. And lastly, he doesn't believe there is anyone strong enough to lead the samurai of Wano. Even before Kinemon and the gang returned, Ashura Douji said that there would be no point to the Scabbard's return unless there was someone strong enough to actually lead the samurai. So, in a nutshell, Ashura isn't going to join just for the sake of defeating Kaido and helping out the Kozuki clan. He's not interested in joining a cause. The only thing that has motivated him in the past has been someone actually earning his respect and his loyalty. And there was only one man who had accomplished that in the past, and that's the guy that Ashura was, willing to follow. So to me, it seems that he needs to be shown that there is someone strong enough to lead the samurai, that there is someone worthy of his respect who he will be willing to follow. That's the key to getting him to join. Now, my first thought was, that's Luffy, right? He's the protagonist. He's super strong. He instantly wins people's respect wherever he goes. That's just what he does. In any other arc, I would assume that the answer is Luffy. But because this is Wano, because this arc has such an emphasis on swordsmanship and samurai pride, I think specifically in this context, Zoro may be the better bet. I think Zoro is the most likely to earn the respect of the samurai. Because this notion of earning Ashura's loyalty isn't some vague concept. We actually know what specifically earned his respect and his loyalty in the past, and that's defeating Ashura himself in a sword duel. Because 20 years ago, this exact scenario happened. Ashura was a bad guy doing bad guy stuff in Kuri, till Oden defeated him in a sword duel, gained his respect, and then Ashura started following him. I wouldn't be surprised if that scenario repeated itself in the modern day. Ashura is back to doing bad guy stuff in Kuri, doesn't believe that there's anyone strong enough to lead the samurai, till along comes a new swordsman, Zoro, who defeats him in a sword duel and gains his respect. Zoro may be the man that Ashura and even other strong samurai may finally rally around, thus bringing them into the alliance. After all, before the arc started, Zoro stated that he would round up the Wano samurai for Luffy, and he clearly hasn't done that at all yet. But maybe Oda still has that storyline in mind for Zoro, and this is where it starts. On top of that, technically Zoro's job in the first place was to recruit samurai allies and get them on their side, so what if Zoro still ends up doing that, but in a more unorthodox, wandering Ronin manner? I'll also add that if you subscribe to the idea that Zoro might ever develop Conqueror's Haki, then I believe if that were to happen, then Wano would be the arc for it to happen. And I feel like the first step on the path to developing that ability would be by gaining the following of some of the samurai. Now, part of the reason I think we could be seeing this matchup between Zoro and Ashura Douji soon is because of what we saw last chapter. Kinemon and the gang have been running raids on Kaido's resources in Kuri, and they've been framing Ashura's gang for it. We don't know exactly why Kinemon is doing this just yet, but as he says, this will make Ashura Douji angry. It's very possible that Ashura Douji and his gang will be making their way back down the mountain to confront Kinemon and the Alliance. At the same time, we see that Zoro has circled back to the Kuri area, and he's now approaching Leftover Town. So at least proximity-wise, I think we are potentially set up for an encounter, not to mention that Ashura and his gang regularly come to Leftover Town to rob the village anyway. So maybe we see a matchup between Zoro and Ashura Douji soon? And to that point, I guess just finally, matchup-wise, Ashura seems like the perfect guy for Zoro to fight right now. I mean, obviously Zoro's opponents are usually swordsmen, but Ashura also seems like the perfect difficulty level as well. Someone who is equal to the Dukes, maybe just a hair under Calamity level, someone who would provide a nice test or a measuring stick for Zoro's current ability. Because if you think that, if, let's say, Zoro is going to fight King at the end of this arc, for example, then it makes sense to me to see him have some increasing progression of difficulty rather than just jumping from fighting Pika to beating a Yonko first mate, right? So, let's see how the next chapters play out, and if you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter for updates at Mr. Morgeman, And shout out to YouTuber Ohara for the thumbnail. Check out his channel when you get the chance. And definitely check out my Dressrosa arc analysis video if you haven't already. The poll for the next analysis video should be up with this week's chapter review.